Okay, in this video, let's work on Lab 1 together. Before you watch this video, make sure you have already tried those exercises by yourself. The first question, the following table lists some facts about 4,000 state. Question A, so import the above data into SAS using data lines in a data step. So let's start. Data, then you need to type the name of the dataset, states. Yeah, so I want to call this dataset states. Then input statement, you need to type the name of the variable. So notice you need to make sure to use a legitimate names, right? So like for the first variable, I want to call it state. Second variable, I call it capital. Then I will have population. Then the last one, I call it year. In the data lines, after data lines, so then you need the data. Yeah, just copy paste the data below. This is not arranged, right? So you need to make sure so you arrange the data correctly. One row corresponds to one observation. Okay, and so you just copy paste those numbers and to arrange them in the same way as in the table. So then the for year. Yeah, so just copy paste, and so you need to end this one by a semicolon. So usually, so I want to add several space and I want to arrange this in a better way. Yeah, basically to make it is easier to read the information. Yeah, just add several space. Okay. So now, are we done yet? Not yet, right? Oh, so why there's some dot here? See, for when you load the data, you need to tell so whether the variable is numerical or character. So for these four variable, so the first one clearly, so they are characters, and so for characters, we need to add a $sign after the name of the variable. For numerical variables, so there is no need to add the $sign. And so for numbers, you need to make sure so they are valid numbers. So see those comma, so those are not allowed. Yeah, so then I just need to remove those comma. And after that, so usually, so we will add a proc print data equals states. Yeah, because I want to make sure the data are loaded correctly. Yeah, so let's run it. Okay, so it looks fine, right? So then you can compare this output with the table. Yeah, so it looks like the data are loaded correctly. First one, next one, so check the imported data using proc print and proc contents. We've already checked that, so using proc print, right? So proc print is used to print the contents of the data. Yeah, so we've already checked that. So now let's use a that is proc print, right? So then we'll use a proc contents. Yeah, proc contents. Proc contents just display some summary information like see in total we have four variables, four observations. So here so list the name of the variable. SAS also tells us so capital and state, so they are character variables, and for population and year, so they are numerical variables. Yeah, so everything looks fine. Next question, sort the four state according to population in descending order, right? So we want to sort them, so we use a proc sort. So data will be states, the by statement, so just list the name of the variable so you want to use for sorting. See, in descending order, right? Yeah, so then I add these keywords descending. Then the name of the variable will be population. Yeah, so after you sort the data, you need to use proc print, then to check the data and make sure so it is sorted as you want. Okay, see, population sorted in descending order. Yeah, so this is question C. For question D, sort the fourth state according to year in ascending order. Display the sorted data. Yeah. So this is very similar. So I just copy, paste this one because the only difference is we change a variable, right? Yeah. So then we just sort by year. Default, so the default order is ascending order, right? So there's no need to add any keywords before year. Yeah, so then you run it, you can see so they are sorted according to year in ascending order. So this question is done. Then for this one, second one, so the following data file contains the so maybe I keep this screen for a while. Yeah, just in case you want to check the answer. Okay. Let's work on a second question. The following data contains the exam scores of students in a class. Yeah, so let's just download it. Maybe so download the data. Okay, so then every time, so before you try to load the data, you need to check it first, right? Let's open it. Okay. Grades. Yeah, so name, gender, department, exam 1, exam 2, right? We have 5 variables and we have a bunch of observations. Yeah, so this is the data. If you want to work with Excel data, you first need to upload the data to your online, to your cloud storage. Yeah, I think so. I've already uploaded the data here. See, grades, right? Yeah, so if you want to use a file on your online cloud storage, so usually, so first I will create a alias. Use file name statement to specify a alias. XLSX file. So I just choose this name, right? So then I specify the location. For the location, so if you right click here, you click property, right? So then you will get the location here. Close. So this is a file name. So then, because this is Excel file, right? So question A says import the data, use proc import. So then I say proc import. The file so will be not file. I think out equal I need to specify a name. So I say class. Then the data file. Yeah. So data file will be this XLXS file. So then specify DBMS, right? So this is the format of the file. So will be XLSX SX. Okay. So then we say usually we will say replace. Yeah. So then you run and use a proc print to check the data. Yeah. So we run that. Seems see 5 variables and 22 observations. You can compare this one with the Excel file. Yeah, so it looks like the data are loaded correctly. Then question 2, print all observations for only two variables, department and the scores of exam 1. So then we will use proc print data is class, right? And so use the var statement var, just list the name of the name of the variable you want. So here we want department and the exam 1. Yeah, so two variables. Yeah, so I print that. So I displayed two variables. Sort the observation by name in a descending order. Yeah. Sort proc sort data is class by descending order, right? It says descending order by names. So the variable will be the name, right? So then we proc print data is class and run. So for this part, if we write name, you can see, so they are sorted in descending order. Okay. Next one, sort observation by department and gender. Okay. So first we just by department, department, and so then gender. Yeah. So this means first sort observations according to department. Yeah. So if they are in the same department, then sort them according to gender, right? You can see. So sort the department. So we are grouped first by department, right? And so then sorted by gender. Reverse the order of department and gender in the by statement in the previous question. Do you expect any changes in the resulting dataset? What I ask you to do is, see, for this one, let me copy it again. So instead of say department and gender, so then I say gender department, right? So in this case, the observations will be first sorted according to gender. Yeah, so the first group will be females and then males. And so within each gender, and then we sort the observations by department. Yeah, so maybe let's run both. Two pieces of code together, right? You can compare them. So the first one is first sort by department and then gender. Yeah, so this is first by gender, then department. You can see. So right now, the first group, yeah. So what I highlighted, they are females, right? And so in the bottoms, they are males. And so within females, and so then we group them according to department, right? So first we have forestry, and so then we have math, right? Yeah. So the order of those variables in the by statement does matter. Okay, so it does matter and will affect how the observations are sorted. Sort observations by scores of exam 1 in ascending order if there exists a tie. So then first sort observations by scores of exam 2 in descending order. Yeah, exam 1 ascending, exam 2 descending. So basically we have exam 1 and exam 2. So exam 1 is ascending, right? So exam 2 descending. So then we need to add these keywords. Yeah, so you run this one. It is first sorted according to exam 1 ascending order, right? So if they have the same value, for example, so like these two students, so they have the same exam 1 score. So we further sort them according to exam 2 score in descending order. Yeah, and so also similarly for these two students. Okay. Answer the following questions using proc contents. Yeah, so how many variables, how many students? So if you run proc contents, data is class and run. Okay, so you run this one. You can see, so this is output, right? See, observations, so we have 22, and so variables, we have five variables. Yeah. So then you can get information from this output. How many males and how many females? Yeah, so then we want, essentially we just want a frequency table for gender, right? To get frequency table, and so you use a proc freq, right? So data is class, and so you want a table for gender. Yeah, so you run this one. Here you can see we have 12 females and 10 males, and so females account for 54.55%, and the males account for 45.45%. Yeah, so those are the male and females. How many different departments? So what's the percentage of students in each department? Similar question, right? Yeah, but we just want to want the information for department. I think so. I just add a department here. Yeah. So in this way, see, if the variables are separated by space, so SAS will construct two two frequency table. Yeah, so one for each variable. For department, you can see in total we have 4 departments, right? Fishery account for 4.55%, forestry 36.36%, so math 36.36%, and so psychology 22.73%. Yeah, so those are the percentage for each department. Find the mean and standard deviation of the scores in exam 1. Next one, so also find the maximum and minimum of scores in exam 2. Yeah, so we just want summary statistics for exam 1 and exam 2, right? So for continuous variable, so we use proc means to get that. Yeah, so the variable, it will be exam 1 and exam 2. Okay, so we run this one. So you can read the result from output. Exam 1, mean and standard deviation, right? Yeah, so these two number, so this number is the mean, right? So 80.9, so is the mean for exam 1. So 7.98, so this is the standard deviation for exam 1. For exam 2, so we want minimum will be 66, and for maximum, so will be 100. Yeah, so those are just so those information can be read from SAS output directly. The following data file, also let's see, those are just I will say, so the answer for this one, right? And yeah, so to make it a little bit to read, yeah, you can see. So this is the answer for second question. Okay. So let's look at the third question. The following data file contains some information on employees of a airline. First, you need to download this data. Yeah, so download the data. So it is a standard Excel file, right? Because the value as not Excel file, sorry. So it is a standard CSV file. Okay, so the value are separated by comma. So notice, see, separated by comma. So the first row are the name of the variables. So for CSV file, the easiest way is we load the data using proc import. For CSV file, and if you want to use it, and there are two different ways. The first way is you can do similarly as the Excel file. So we did for question 2. So I mean, you download the data, and so then you upload the data to your online cloud storage, and so then use this file name, right? So the other one is, so you can directly tell SAS the location of this file. Yeah, so this is what I'm doing right now. Still use the file name statement, and so then you just CSV file. So I just choose a name. So then you write URL. Yeah, so tell SAS. So this is a online link. Yeah, so end this statement by semicolon. Okay, so then I'll use proc import. So out. So you choose a name, employees, right? So then the data file, so will be this CSV file. So dbms, right? So this specifies CSV. So then I say replacement. Yeah, so CSV just specifies the format of this file. Proc run. So then I use a proc print. This will be employees run. Okay. So I run it. So what does not exist? Okay. Employee. I missed an L. So run again. This looks fine, right? So you can compare this with this input data. Yeah, so usually, so you compare the first row and the last row. So usually, if the first row and the last row are the same, the data should be loaded correctly. So next one, so check the imported data, use proc print and proc contents. We've already checked it, use a proc print, right? So then let's do that, use proc contents. Okay, yeah, so run it. We have 8 observations in total, so there are 5 variables. So SAS also here, so list the type of the variables. Yeah, so employee ID, emp ID, and the salary. So these 2 variables are numerical, and the remaining one, first name, last name, and the job code. So they are characters. Find the pilot with the highest salary, right? Because all data, yeah. So if you check the data, maybe we check the data here. If you check the data, okay. What I want is the pilot highest salary. Yeah, essentially, if you sort the data in a appropriate order, right? So such that so the first observation will be the person you find. So pilot, of course, the job code. So there are 2 different type of job code. Yeah, so we want pilot, and so for salary, highest salary. So then this will be sorted in descending order. Yeah, so let's try to sort the data. Proc sort data will be employees, right? Will by job code and salary. Yeah, so salary is highest salary, so this should be sorted in descending order. Yeah, so let's proc print data is employees and run. Okay, so let's run, maybe write in this way to make it easier to read. This well seems the pilot is not sorted in the front, right? Yeah, so maybe we add a descending before job code. So we also want this variable to be assorted in descending order. Then now the first observation, right? So this person, so is a pilot, and it has a highest salary. Yeah, so then this is what we want. Find the employee, the next one. So find the employee with the lowest salary for the job code. I think so this will be similar. right? So here I just, yeah, in fact, instead of in descending, so we sort this one in ascending order. See, the first one will be this FLTAT, yeah, so this job code, and the lowest salary is placed on the top. Yeah, so this will be the person we try to find. Yeah. Compute the mean and standard deviation of the salary. Yeah, so then we compute summary statistics for a numerical variable, right? Yeah, so the VAR statement, so then we just list the salary. You run this one, you can see, so you have the mean salary is this number, right? So 53,000. Yeah, so then we have the standard deviation. The next one is compute the percentage of pilot in the list of employees. Yeah, because there are two different job code, we know, right? So we want the percentage. Yeah, so just want the frequency table. Yeah, so we use proc freq to get that employees. And so then we use the table statement, the job code, right? Yeah, job code. So you run this one. You can see for pilot, we have 50% of employees in this data set are pilot. Yes. Okay, so this is question 3. Question 3.